Hello, my name is Bano and I am the Art, Craft and Design Lead at Arden Primary School. We're an Arts Mark Platinum school and I lead early years, art and oracy across the school. We are very fortunate to be on the Arts Connect Teacher Development Programme, and the reason for us wanting to be a part of the programme was because we understand just how powerful this subject is. Art is a subject which we believe wholeheartedly breathes life into other subjects, and it's something which can enhance children's learning and understanding of other areas of the curriculum. So art is a subject that lends itself quite well, and we know that with Arts Connect and the way in which they have worked with artists, we thought it would be wonderful to turn our school and our classroom into a studio, and to be able to work and think like an artist, and to be able to have our children do that too. So to be on the programme meant that we were able to have an artist as a mentor to guide us, which was beneficial because the way in which an artist works and thinks is very much outside the box. And I think when you're a teacher, you're surrounded by never-ending tick boxes, and it's a very tight curriculum, and you're always it's a very fast-paced environment. And I think working with an artist made us think and consider and reflect, why are we doing what we're doing, and what are we doing to aid and develop our children and make sure that the minutes that we have them, how can we really nurture and foster these deeper thinking skills? Because as the purpose of study mentions for art is one of the highest forms of creativity, and that's something that we want to instill in our children. We want them to be creative, we want them to be thinking outside of the box, we want them to be questioning and inquiring about, why is the world the way that it is, to not be afraid to challenge the status quo, and to not be afraid to be advocates. And I hope that through this programme with Arts Connect, we were able to have our children, our youngest learners that are 3 years old, become advocates for art as well. And we are so impressed with how much they've developed in terms of their communication and language, their oracy. And Arts Connect and working with our artist has helped nurture that dialogue as well. So we're very privileged to be one of 7 schools on the Arts Connect Teacher Development Programme. We initially started off with an inquiry question, which was, how can we evoke children's curiosity to support and facilitate their spoken language and dialogue? So the idea behind the project was to nurture children's oracy and speaking and listening and communication skills through their curiosity, something that would spark their imagination. And what I have with me here today is one of the artworks that had been created by a set of my pupils. I do work in nursery and our children are 3 to 4 years old, and the whole stimulus and idea behind what we were doing began with curiosity and evoking curiosity within our children and those inquiry skills. So we began with the magical suitcase. Now this is a suitcase that does travel to lost places and finds all sorts of quirky objects that you may not necessarily come across. It could be a set of glasses, a peacock feather, a large set of keys. And the idea behind it was that the children would sing a magic song which would unlock the suitcase, and as soon as we would open the suitcase, they would find a mysterious object. And based on what that object was, children would share their responses, their ideas, their thoughts behind the object itself, and then that would be used for them to develop an artistic response. So we've had witches and dragons, and it's all been very exciting because our children have become storytellers. So over here they've created a dragon. They actually created 2 dragons, and they worked quite collaboratively. So the idea was using their curiosity to fuel their artistic response and allowing them to become storytellers and getting them to speak. And I guess that's quite a big thing, especially in early years when communication and language is one of the prime areas. And we were very fortunate that the children were also curious about the different objects and resources that they could use. We had children cutting and sticking tissue paper, experimenting with oil pastels, chalk pastels, experimenting rubbing, smudging, blending, and it was what the children wanted to do and where they wanted to take the learning. And I guess the lessons in which we were able to acquire from this was that the children should be leading the session, and it's to do with their interests, and that's where the whole idea of sustained shared thinking works really effectively. And when we tailor what we do to the children's interest by providing them that inquiry, we were able to get amazing storytellers as a result, and really curious children that were excited and eager to participate and engage meaningfully in the learning. So we have noticed many benefits in terms of how they have developed in terms of oracy, their speaking, in how they're able to take turns, collaborate, which again relates to a lot of our values, and also their social and emotional development. So we are quite privileged, and we love how the idea came from using a suitcase which contains all sorts of objects and lost things from different parts of the world. And because the project has been so effective and so beneficial in developing and aiding our children, that this is something that we're going to run across the whole school, especially with subjects such as history and introducing artifacts and getting children to speak about them, even when they go to reception, and any memories from the trips and the cultural experiences that they gather, to have them in this box, which becomes a memory for them to take as well. So this is something that we do hope to continue using across the school, and we're very privileged that Arts Connect have supported us in aiding us in facilitating this and supporting us with having Mark Riley as our artist. We have noticed a huge development across nursery, and we're so grateful.